So tell me, Nanette, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10
3. No, I'm just
to have
kidding.
Unholy Trinity on
8,
tonight?
9,
9.
10. Of course.
6?
10, not 6, 7.
Okay.
That's old news.
So I should stop doing
The
that
kids
now.
aren't even-
We're live. Oh my
They're
gosh.
not even allowed to say it anymore. It's so
Who set
old.
us to live? This is crazy. So what's the penalty for saying that number? And is there a new phrase that I should be aware of?
No,
instead of
there
saying
is
the
no
6?
new phrase, and 6, 7 is not allowed any longer because it's not 6, 7 anymore. It's old news.
Hi, folks.
I'm so old, it's sad.
Yeah. Is it kind of very irritating when somebody says it?
We only hear it once in a while, and they get ignored.
That's probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, everybody. This is Wally with Supreme Gecko, and
Nanette.
thank you very much for joining us. It feels like we haven't done an interview, at least. We haven't gone live other than the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas for like years, and it's only been a few weeks.
A few weeks?
A few weeks. It's been months, which is a few weeks. It turns out to be a few weeks.
Ah, somebody just got a snake from them.
From whom?
From Unholy Trinity.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. That's cool. Wonderful, wonderful people supporting the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas. Couldn't thank them enough. And we're going to have a great discussion tonight with Unholy Trinity.
You're noticing your haircut.
Do you like it, or?
It's much better.
Thank you for adjusting.
It's not adjusting.
The fit tonight is, does anybody see can you read that?
We're just two lost souls.
You've got to sing it, though.
I can't sing.
We're just two lost souls swimming in a fish bowl.
I can't sing. Where did you get that?
The fit tonight is Pink Floyd.
Where'd you get that?
I think I bought it from Temu, to be honest. It was like $5, and it rocks. I love this. Yeah, I had to have a haircut, and the stylist looked at me and said, "How much do you want off?" I said, "Oh, I don't know about that much." And she kind of smiled and said, "How long has it been since you've been in here?" And I said, "Do you want months or years?" It took an hour and a half to cut off my hair. Yeah, it did. It was a lot of work. She took a lunch break. Then they brought in somebody else, and they worked on my hair for a while. And then they took a lunch break.
Wow. You just dig, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Deeper and deeper.
I want to make a couple of announcements really super quick here. We're still running the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas. Wait, is it Christmas in February? It kind of can be. 12 Supreme Days of Christmas.
March.
It is almost March. And somebody said, I think it was ML. I don't know if the ML is in tonight in the chat, but ML mentioned it's almost kind of wrapping around, isn't it, into the actual 2026. So we're actually in the how do you enter for day number 13. We have some wonderful gifts. Some of them.
Unreal.
What's that?
Unreal.
What's unreal?
Day 13.
Day 13. Somebody asked, how do you enter? We have the video, how to enter for the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas. The live, folks. The deadline is going to be Monday at 3 p.m. I have no idea what Monday's date is. But we'll have the 365 days of Christmas, Supreme Days of Christmas next time. And then we're going to do the live for day 13 at 6 p.m. Central Time. So come around, and we've got, I think it's 27 or 28 gifts. 23rd. Thank you, Nanette. So make sure that you enter. Make sure that you fill out the form the right way. I've got a couple of people that haven't quite filled out the right way. It's not difficult, and it's really a fun answer to put in. So please. What
is it?
I'm not telling. You have to go fill it out. Go fill it out.
I can't win.
Well, don't select any of the gifts. We're doing some very special things Monday night, and I'm going to keep this very, very short. We're doing the donor give back for all of the donors. You can enter into the donor survey, leave your answers, but then select gifts from other businesses, other reptile businesses like consultations and graphic designs, things like that. And Frank, if you wouldn't mind, go to the how-to video, please, and find the donor survey link if you could, please, and add that to the chat. If you're a donor, if you're watching tonight, make sure that you go to the donor survey and fill that out so you're eligible for some of those gifts, because there's some great gifts.
Fungus gnat in your coffee?
There is in mine. Oh my gosh, there is. Hold on, let me dig it out.
Gnat in your cup.
This is an isopod. I think it's a what is that? It's an orange koi.
It's a Priscilla scaber.
Oh, okay.
It says it right on it.
So another thing that we're going to do is if you've sent in, and we've got to cut it off tonight, but if you've sent over your picture of your gift, whoever won from, or maybe they just purchased from Unholy Trinity, if you've won through the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas and have sent me a picture of your gift, you're eligible to be drawn in the gift picture drawing that we'll do Monday night as well.
Gift picture?
Yes, gift picture. And we also will have kids gifts. So if you have kids, come in at 6 o'clock sharp Monday night, and we'll go ahead and draw kids gifts as well. We have a number of kids gifts this time. Trying to think of what else we have. We'll have a couple of live gifts as well. So real quick, again, buy me a coffee. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we're starting up the buy me a coffee again really hard. And we had a big discount for a lot of our animals. And that we sold a bunch of animals and things to our members of Buy Me a Coffee. We're going to get through the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas. Then I'm going to start up the Buy Me a Coffee process again. We're going to have we're going to have a big giveaway coming up, and I'll put out the announcement for when that live stream and that giveaway is going to come up next week. I'll put out the announcement. Anything else, Nanette?
Not that I can think of. I think you've covered it all. You've covered stuff I didn't know about.
Yeah, that happens all the time. We have the Green Bay show coming up, not this weekend, next weekend.
That's March 1st. That's insane.
Right. January's gone. February's almost gone. It is crazy. And I've taken a lot more time than I wanted to. As usual. So, Unholy Trinity, they're doing some amazing things. And one of the things that we want to talk about tonight is why would you not just want one pet? We had a dog for a long time. We've had 3 dogs. Why did we never get like 14 dogs?
Because we had 3 kids. Why didn't daycare in the house all at the same time?
Why didn't we get a dog and a cat and a Shetland pony and a Scotland Highland cow?
Yeah, why haven't we gotten a Highland cow?
Why haven't we just filled up the house with pets? Why did we just have one dog? That's just kind of weird.
That's a good question, because you got to have all these geckos all the time. You got like thousands, and you got to have all the fish, and you had half a basement full of that. Why can't I have a goat and a cow?
So Unholy Trinity has joined us tonight to talk about why do we not stop with one reptile. We're going to talk about Unholy Trinity and their animals, but kind of folks keep that in the back of your mind of why we can't stop with one. Is it like potato chips? That's what it is. It's like potato chips. You can't just stop at one.
I could.
No, you can't.
Oh, I could.
Let me bring on Shane and Monique Mookie from Unholy Trinity.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Thank you, folks, for your patience and getting through that. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
It was lots of fun.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
We have a lot of fun on this show. We really do. And the people are just fantastic. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So we know you keep reptiles. We know about your business. And we'll get to stuff like that too. And more than one.
They have more than one reptile.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Tell us about yourselves, though. Tell us about you individually. What are your hobbies? Do you do this reptile stuff as a business full time? Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, it's not really full time yet. Obviously, we're not that big yet. So we do have our own daytime jobs. We actually work at the same place. So both of our businesses together. We work
never without each other.
Yeah, always together. We work at a milk factory. So real exciting.
Interesting. Is that ever an issue with the two of you working together?
Not usually.
Maybe more at home than it
Yeah,
is
I
at
would
the
say
milk plant.
definitely at home sometimes, but at work, whatever, it's fine. We separate and then work together, so it's not bad. It evens out.
That was kind of funny because Shane just like right away, no, it's not right. And we're just like, well,
And then like as far as hobbies, I do like a little bit of art as well. So when I have spare time, I like to paint and whatnot. And I make those snake shed necklaces. So that's how I've kind of incorporated my art into the business. And just like being outdoors, we like going hiking, taking our dog outdoors, you know.
Going to the gym.
Yep. Working
We go
out.
to the gym probably 3-4 times a week.
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
hard
guys
to
morning?
stay scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen you post once in a while with everything that you guys are doing, and I just don't know how you keep up at all. Are you a morning gym people, or are you evening gym people?
Well,
Evening.
evening now because we work 12 hours. So after working a 12-hour shift, we don't really want to go to the gym, and definitely not before a 12-hour shift.
No.
You mentioned you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have?
He's an Italian Mastiff or a Cane Corso.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a big boy.
About 170 pounds.
Is that what Tim is?
How old? How old is the dog?
7, right?
7,
Yeah,
yeah.
he just turned 7 in February.
So he's just gotten to probably the peak weight and size, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because like last year or the couple years before, he was only like 150, and then his most recent vet visit, they told us he was 170. So
Yeah.
Yeah, our youngest son has a Mastiff. I don't know what kind though. I know there's many different.
King Corso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King Corso? Does that sound right?
Corso,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, he's got the Corso, the King Corso, I think.
Yep, same thing here.
yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a big
I
dog.
don't even know what his
Yep.
name is.
Yeah.
A big
It's a
baby
puppy.
too.
What's that?
He's a big baby. He
Oh,
loves to snuggle.
Yeah, oh yeah. As soon as we got home from work, he ran and jumped right in bed and was waiting for us to get in bed. Like, sorry, buddy, but we got to go do some stuff first.
can't go to bed just yet.
Yeah.
Is the dog a protector? I know our son's dog is just the biggest, baby puppy
It's a
dog.
scaredy cat.
But if something happens with Tim, I mean, he's spot on right there.
Yeah, that's
Same
definitely
way?
how he is. He acts really tough, but I feel like he is definitely a little timid still.
But he definitely has that protector.
Oh yeah, especially when it's
I
like
say especially with
me,
just you.
He acts different. He's real protective of his mom.
Yeah.
I think Tim's would take out an army tank if Tim said, "Go get it," and turn it over. That's how big that dog is.
He's a
it's
big
crazy.
dog and he's a pup. I'm trying to find out how big he is.
How about other hobbies? Do you have any time for hobbies?
I'd say probably not much else outside of that stuff.
Yeah.
I play video games once in a while.
What kind of video games?
Let's see. I've been playing a lot of City Skylines and City Builders and other things like that. What just came out on Game Pass? High on Life 2, which is like a Rick and Morty type of spin-off type thing.
My oldest son just sent me some screenshots of, I can't remember if it's Diablo or
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons. It's
Diablo.
Diablo? It
Because
just came out. And
Yeah.
I go back, 30 years playing Diablo and staying up all night and then trying to work the next day and then staying up all night again and
waking me up,
waking
yelling
you
at
up.
the
Yeah,
screen.
"Hey, you son of a gun,
Yeah.
they took my sword."
That was how your youngest son learned how to swear the first time. Remember?
I feel
In
proud
the
of
other
that.
room.
Yeah, I feel proud of that.
Yeah. All of a sudden we heard it, and I'm like, "That's your fault."
That it is. Well, that was watching the sports, the Cubs
No, that was
And
what-
swearing at
that
the
was
Cubs.
playing.
on
he's a-
TV.
King. Oh, he's a mix.
Go
He's
ahead.
King Corso with a boxer mix.
Oh,
He
wow.
weighs 100 pounds at this point.
Okay. Still growing dog.
He's
Yeah.
still-
Oh,
big.
yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
moose. I can imagine a 170-pound dog, though. Jordan's dog is 70 and is in our house, and that's big enough for me
Yeah, that's for us too big
to
right now.
cuddle with.
Yeah. If it were 0 pounds, I think that would be a
Yeah.
better deal.
Yeah, it's hard to fit on a queen size mattress with me. And her
Yeah,
and
no.
He tries
Yes,
to take
yes.
up the whole bed.
Beth.
What's its name?
Giannis,
Giannis. Where did Giannis come from?
like the basketball player.
Yeah, the Milwaukee basketball
Sure.
Bucks.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
Interesting.
Kurt, your oldest son is here.
Hey, Chris. I hate. I hate. Yeah, I know. I hate seeing Chris come up. We were just talking about you. How did you take a break from Diablo, Christopher? I don't understand that because you've been playing that 24/7 now since you got it. How did you guys get into reptiles? Tell us the story of how that kind of progressed.
Well, funny that you talked about the dog because we actually had 2 King Corsos. I had so Luna, before I was with her, I got my own dog, and then when we got together, she kind of was around with her, but she ended up getting what was it, osteosarcoma, so cancer in her leg.
Right.
And we tried amputating,
Oh.
and it worked for a little while, but then chemo and stuff. And then after a couple months, it came back pretty aggressively. So then as a kid, I had bearded dragons, leopard geckos. My aunt had a green iguana. Some other family members had some other reptiles. So I always had a passion for it. And with the pain of losing her, I just was like, you know what? Why not go with something that I used to love and they actually can live 30 years, some of them, some species. So I'm like, whereas the bigger dogs, they don't have that long of a lifespan. So that kind of led us to buying a snake. And then the passion just kind of reignited and exploded.
Yeah, I never had reptiles growing up. My mom would never allow that. I had guinea pigs and stuff, but I was always like out in nature. But I love all animals, and I fell in love with the first snake that we got, Trinity. And after that, we just started getting more reptiles. We rescued a ball python and a couple leopard geckos after getting our first snake. And then it kind of just spiraled after that.
When you started getting the reptiles, did your mind work forward to, okay, we've got this boy or this girl, now we need to match and we need to start breeding? How important was breeding when you first started getting into reptiles?
I feel like that took probably, I don't know, like a few months for us even to like decide, oh, we want to turn this into a business kind of thing. Because at first, like, it was more like we wanted to explore different animals and different species. So we were like getting different types. Yeah, this is Trinity.
Oh,
Aww.
She's
Now, what-
obviously the name of the company. But
what
yeah,
kind?
so after we got my first pictus gecko was a male, and then I did kind of plan on breeding him. So we ended up getting a female who already came to us gravid. So her laying eggs on like kind of kickstarted that. It was like, all right, maybe we should turn this into a business. And then she laid like over 30 eggs. So it was crazy.
Yeah, we were not expecting that.
And those 30 eggs came the first month that you had her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Very fast.
I missed it, and I know you said it, but what kind of snake is Trinity?
Ball python.
Ball python. And does it have a certain morph or color phase or whatever?
She's albino.
Oh, okay.
Hold her up.
Yeah, it's hard to see,
Beautiful.
I guess, in the camera. There you go.
Beautiful. And she's going crazy because she loves the show and tell, and she loves to see the animals. This is so cool. I don't know if you have any comments,
Yeah, I
Nanette.
do. I was
okay.
just checking my spiral here.
I would love to
So you said, I'm going to jump in real quick. You said that you started thinking about the business part of it after a couple of months. That's, I feel, pretty quick. I think most people will probably go through a year of, gaining knowledge and research, blah, 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 and then go, okay, I think I'm going to turn this into a business because I had a clutch of ball pythons or whatever. But you guys are thinking about that right away. That doesn't mean that you jumped right into the business phase of it, but
right.
what kind of set your path to doing this full I don't want to say full time, but it kind of is. What sets your path that way? What do you think?
I think for myself, it was just growing up as a kid. I idolized Steve Irwin and wanted to be him when I grew up. Not a real possibility, but this is the closest I could get. And then when I moved out, got adult money, and was able to make my own decisions and didn't have my parents to tell me, no, that's too many. It just kind of, and I watched a lot of Animal Planet. I did a lot of research. Like before I got anything, I kind of had a good basic knowledge of a lot of different species.
For me, it goes all the way back to, I remember I'm going to really show my age here, but it was Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom with Marlon Perkins.
Yeah.
Sitting watching that with my parents, and that's what kind of got me in tune with nature and ponds and little streams and tadpoles and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
It's cool that but I never had reptiles until I was probably about 30-ish. But you had that experience through, your youth, but Mookie, you didn't. How was the transition for you? Was that a little awkward, especially your first reptile kind of is the snake, right?
Right. I wouldn't say awkward, but definitely like he was always more like not nervous ever, and like when we first got our first like red-tailed boa, it was a new snake for me, so I was like very jumpy and like didn't know much about her, but once I like understood her and stuff like that, it all just kind of came naturally. If you just understand and learn about the animals, then the fear kind of goes away. And that like goes into our like the back of our shirts, the logo, it says fear meets fascination. So he was the fascination, I was the fear. So
Did it, I don't want to say come naturally, but it's all an adjustment. Did you start holding the snake and you got a little bit more familiar with that and the
yeah,
fear
exactly.
kind of?
Just like handling and holding them, then you like learn that okay, this isn't scary, and they do like read your body language a lot. So if you're jumpy, they're gonna be jumpy kind of thing. So you have to work on yourself.
You just said that, and I don't think anybody since we've been doing lives has ever said that, and it's such a key point that resonates probably every single minute I'm around reptiles. Is I'm watching them, I'm trying to understand what they're going to react, and you get in tune with it's going to be jumpy, it doesn't want to be bothered, it's in feeding mode. It just came out pretty quick there. I better feed it first. I don't want to handle and move it, male to a female. So I don't think anybody's ever said that you get in tune with these what to look for in the animal. Shaky tail with a crested gecko. Ooh. But it takes time to learn that. And speaking of that, it takes knowledge and experience to then put it back or not pick it up and move it around. Do you see that with the snakes once in a while where it's like, yeah, something's off, I'm just not going in there right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially like when they're in shed, you want to be extra cautious because they're literally like blind in a sense, so they can't see you and they're more alert, more scared. Definitely our pine snakes, they are like very moody. If you like sometimes even open their like enclosure, they'll let you know they don't want to be messed with. Their tail goes crazy and they start hissing. So it's like, all right, we'll leave you be.
And that's probably like 2% of the time, and 98% of the time they're just fine, but you just kind of have to read it, right?
Yeah, reach in, pick them right up, and they're fine. They start exploring.
Did you catch all that? So that's how you get over your fear of handling snakes. You just have to learn their body language. Like me, before, I'm not home until right about there. So you're reading my body language and, learning when to talk to me and learning when not to talk to me. Tell us a little bit about, you know what? I've got a couple of questions that Nanette has starred. Let me go back up here real quick. Angie is asking, are you guys in Wisconsin?
Nope, we are from upstate New York or central New York.
Upstate.
Yeah.
Very nice. Advantages, disadvantages. I mean, are you rural? Are you,
Small
shows?
city.
Yeah. Yeah, where we're from is pretty small. Like our first expo that we did, the expo itself had a really good turnout, Finger Lakes, Reptiles, Exotics, but we didn't end up selling anything, but we still stuck with it. And the second year we sold quite a few things. And then we did another expo like an hour away and we sold some stuff there. So
Kind of near Rochester, New York, out that way.
yeah.
Are you guys close? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the cold is one downfall, obviously, but I know a lot of people have to deal with the cold. So,
Yep. But it's something that you have to just kind of make, your plans around. Are you guys close to White Plains at all? No?
Sort of, right? White Plains.
North? I don't know.
Pretty sure we
Is
are.
White, is that closer to the city?
I think it is.
Yeah. I'm
No.
pretty sure.
I know that that's a big show, and I know a lot of breeders that I know that are doing some of the rare geckos are doing White Plains.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that show. We haven't been to that one yet, but
Not yet.
that's on the list.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do everything all at once. I mean, bite off as much as you can chew at one time. Jamie is asking, could you ask if they had a name for the snake I just got from them by chance?
No, we actually did not name her. She was from like our very first clutch, so they all just got number names. So she was number 6. That was her name.
We're kind of jumping, 2 steps ahead here, but, I want to talk a little bit about your collection more, but from a business standpoint, just kind of curious now, do you name your animals before you sell them?
She likes to assign a name to every single thing we have. It's her first question.
No.
What's its name? What's its name?
So
What are
I
we
guess,
naming
yeah.
this one?
But now we have like a lot of babies, like all the pictus babies are not named. We have like a new clutch of ball pythons that they don't have names. So, but a lot of our pets, yes, most of our pets do have names.
Yeah, they all have
Interesting. Is it then hard once you name an animal to take it to a reptile show and sell it?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so.
There's been a few times that I could feel it tugging on my chest and my stomach, and even when we sell them and like ship them out, just getting a FedEx, I'm like, do I really want to do this? But you can't keep them all, like the saying goes.
You can't. And it was hard for me a long, long time ago to make that transition away from naming everything and letting animals go. And that's why, I just stopped naming the babies. Everything was by number. Oh, I'm selling, CR 23248 today. So it became more of a, disconnection, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Except for all the ones that Crystal's named Crystal.
Except we have 28 animals downstairs, all named Crystal, all crested geckos. So, and I just did my analysis of crested geckos from the past couple of years from a breeding standpoint and number of eggs and number of eggs, blah, blah, blah. And her pair, Crystal, and I can't remember the poppy seed, were one of our least performers simply because they're getting older now. They're getting a little bit older. So it's like, I should probably, sell these as pet only at a reptile show. And then it's like, but they're crystal and poppy seeds. So I better hold on to them just in case she finds out about me selling.
Prices are gone, you're done.
It'd be a done deal. Moving, let's talk about, I'm going to hold that one. Let's talk about your current collection. Can you kind of walk us through the animals that you currently keep and what types and why you're keeping certain animals over other animals?
Yeah, I actually prepared with a list because I didn't realize how many that we actually had.
Is it a spreadsheet?
Not
Did
a
you do a
spreadsheet. No, it should be. That's a lot more organized.
We do have a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You're good.
That's where you did make one with all the animals.
Yeah,
That's right.
took a while.
All right, so for snakes, we have corn snakes, ball pythons, carpet pythons, 1 hognose, 1 Kenyan sand boa, 2 red-tailed boas, but they're different localities, right? A California king snake. For skinks, we have 1 blue-tongue skink. We have 4 Schneider skinks, fire skinks, emerald tree skinks, 1 Peters banded skink, Geckos, we have leopard geckos, pictus geckos, gargoyle, crested, fan-footed, white-lined or skunk geckos, dune geckos, leachianus gecko, only one, morning geckos, and tokay geckos. We have a red-footed tortoise and a sulcata tortoise, one savanna monitor, a gyri uromastix, an ornate uromastix, Cuban false chameleons, and then vampire crabs, and one hedgehog.
Wow.
That's the whole farm.
I can think of one word: eclectic. You're all over the place with that. Does that cause you? Does that bring some challenges?
It's called diversity.
It is called diversity. It's called something interesting going on every single day. Does that
Yes,
whole,
for sure.
because you have such a different collection? Does that cause you guys some problems?
I feel like our biggest one was like temperature wise. Like right now we're in like the main upstairs reptile room and it can get really warm up here. So obviously certain like the cresteds and the gargs cannot be up here. It's just too warm for them. So that was one big issue we had to work out. But now we have it pretty separated where the cooler ones are down where they can be cool and we have the hot ones up here.
Did you kind of have to play like the Tetris and moving things around the
Oh,
enclosure?
yeah. I'd probably move and rearrange the house 4 or 5 different times.
Especially moving into this house was a blast with everything that we had to move. So
I'm very geeky with the spreadsheets, obviously. So tomorrow I'm actually spending the morning with a spreadsheet and listing out all the enclosures and moving the animals around to figure out where, I can get some breeding setups going, because a lot of animals were separated, this whole last year while they were growing up and conditioning for us. And now we're at the point where they have to be introduced, and I have to do the same kind of arrangement, things like that.
But you're only doing it in the lower level, basement.
We'll see if I stop there. We'll see. I might go upper level and kitchen and bathroom, and
No.
I'll plan all the rooms. I mean, the spreadsheet can do anything like that.
And it can be deleted very easily.
What are I'll hide it from you and I'll protect it from you.
It's called
What are-
shared Google Doc.
What are
It's done.
some advantages though to having a very, like Nanette said, a very diverse collection of animals?
I mean, I guess you learn a lot. Like it's nice to have a lot of knowledge about different types of species. And then if we don't breed all of those, like out of the ones I listed, the only ones that we're currently breeding are the ball pythons, the pictus, the dunes, the fanfoots. Is there anything else?
Nothing
Like
yet.
we have plans in the future to breed tokays, but though that's in the future because they're the ones we have, we're working on building trust with, so we don't lose any fingers and stuff. I know a lot of people do have friendlier tokays, but
The first one we got, I can basically get her to come out to my hand already. So we've had her for what, 2 years, 3 years?
yeah.
So I'm trying to work with the other two. So we do like to practice a lot of hands off for some of the species.
Yep.
Like the tokay gecko doesn't want to be held. They're going to let you know it. But if you can build a certain amount of trust with some of them, and some have different personalities, of course, but I feel like it makes it easier to pair them up or to move them or just to be in their enclosure and less stressful for the animal.
What I've heard about tokays, if I could expound some experiences, that they don't like to be handled, but they like kisses. So if you go in, you just give them a little sweet little peck, on the lips. They love that. That's how you acclimate them. That's the best way. So, free advice.
I hope nobody is new listening to this. Don't do it.
Yeah, they're known for just being brutally aggressive, mean. Yeah. Although, we have people in the hobby and wonderful people like Sari that holds them all the time. Sari.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by her videos. So I was like, where is she getting her tokays from?
Yes. And how much time is she putting into working with them? That's dedication, I think. That's incredible. I don't have that patience at all. Talk about some of your projects that are coming up in 2026. What are you most excited about? Kind of from a business standpoint, but also from a hobby standpoint as well.
Well, like our ongoing main project, I would say, is our Pictus Gecko project, which we started last year in a sense by acquiring different colors and morphs. We called it the Peppermint Pictus project. So we're trying to get really red and white striped, obviously like a peppermint. But obviously we haven't gotten very far with that. We have a lot of offspring. So now we're at the step of choosing and holding back the best ones and interbreeding. That's the next step basically. So I don't know what other projects we have. We kind of held off on our ball pythons for the year just because the ball python market's a little saturated, and we have a clutch of 8 babies that we produced, and they were in August or October, I think. So we still have all 8 of them. We need to post and try to sell, but other than that, we don't really have any other big projects.
Our emerald tree skanks.
Oh yeah, and the emerald tree skanks, they kind of just do their own thing. That's not really a project we need to get involved with. We put the pair together, and then we have already 2 babies, and I think their season's probably starting soonish because our first 2 babies that we had last year hatched out around maybe March or so. But those ones are a lot of fun.
I want to ask a question selfishly because Wally wants to ask a question now, and not just for, off of my spreadsheet list here of questions. Tell me more about the emerald tree skinks and how you care for them. And you said that you got a couple of babies from them.
Yes.
How did you incubate? And they just seem like such cool animals.
Well, actually, we bought a pair, and the breeder that we got them from was pretty sure that the female was already gravid because she had laid like duds in her cage before she ended up getting shipped to us. And then sure enough, one day I was in their enclosure doing my normal spraying and giving them food, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a little baby in there. So they incubated
across the house
in the cage.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if that's how I think they lay their eggs like in the soil where they stay moist. So I'm not sure if they need like a specific heat, but they incubated just fine with the heat that we had.
Yeah.
So
do the little ones look just like the parents?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
little miniatures.
How big of a tank? Again, this is for me, but how big of a tank are you keeping the pair in?
What is it?
18 by 18.
Yeah, 18 by 18 something, but they do need an upgraded cage because we have the family living together. So
yeah, we have cages on the kitchen table ready for the upgrade. Yeah. It's just the time to get them in there.
Yep. Upgrades are needed.
They just seem like such cool animals and very active during the day, I'm assuming.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they see us in the kitchen, that's where we have ours. They are like on the glass, like, are you going to feed me?
Yep.
We're feeding ourselves, but they think it's food for them.
Very, very cool. The white stripes, have you bred them in the past or?
No.
Okay.
I got some like from you. So the white pictus, is that what you're referring to?
No. The skunks.
Skunk. No, yes. No, we did purchase that one, like, and thinking of trying to breed it because I think at the time there was like, we couldn't find them anywhere. So we thought like, oh, why not try breeding something less popular? That's also something we try to do, but I don't think we
no, just life.
Yeah. But we have a male, so maybe sometime in the future when we have more time or space, we did think about breeding them. So
yeah, I guess like we kind of hold off on like future projects at the moment because I feel like we're focusing more on bigger enclosures, more space. And I would like to move somewhere warmer. And kind of with the Savannah monitor, when we first bought, we thought it was a boy. It's a female. But when we got her, we were like, it's going to be a big monitor lizard. So she's going to need a big enclosure. Yeah. So by the time she got big enough to need that enclosure, we had already bought a house. And she's in a like 7 foot by 7 foot or 10 foot grow tent. So, and I built like a second story in there. So she has the bottom to run around, the whole top to run around, and she can climb all the way to the top, get to the heat. So she plenty of enrichment and movement and exercise. And I don't know, even with the smallest ones, I preach to her all the time. I would like to get everybody in just the most massive enclosures we can afford.
It's interesting because I think in the hobby, the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5, 6 years, that seems to be a trend. And I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe sometimes not such a good thing unless you have experience of what you're doing. Like I hate, going down a negative path, but to hear something like you need a, 6 foot by 6 foot enclosure for a leopard gecko, or you need a 55-gallon tank minimal for a crested gecko baby, and just stuff that where are people? I'm cool with facts. If I can see a fact that says this is the minimum size, that's super cool. But people are just throwing stuff out there right now, and I think you have to go through that
point. Like with breeding, it kind of makes it hard if you have a larger enclosure, because then it's harder to track their health and make sure that they're actually getting the proper care. So it's more of like the pets that I want to get in the bigger enclosures. But that we did run into that problems ourselves. Is okay, we got to change this up. I think, what was it, Nori, the first pictus gecko?
Yeah.
We had her in a fully bioactive setup, and we were finding eggs and no babies, and it was like, all right, we need to get better track of this, so we need to get her in something a little different. So it helped us, and it's better for the animal. So like I said, to your point there, kind of
pick and choose your battles, and pick and choose what works best for you. Oh my gosh, I couldn't read that. I wish I wouldn't have posted that. We'll move. Thank you, Frank. They're big. They're Corso big. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, large.
Bombs. We'll just say that.
How big is she now? Your mom.
Oh, she what? 4 foot?
Holy cow!
Pretty big.
Yeah, 3-4 foot.
Oh my gosh.
Like the size of my thigh, I feel like.
She's pretty friendly, actually, too. I can go in,
friendly.
and when I feed her, you can see the intelligence with them. And I've told her that, too. I want to buy a bigger house so we can get into monitors and stuff, because the intelligence is insane. Like, when I'm feeding her, I can just see her eyes trained on my fingers, which are right in front of the cup and the bugs, but she still goes for the bugs. She recognizes the difference after the time that I've spent with her.
Yeah.
And then I'll scratch her head, her neck. The most she'll do is kind of back away, and then I'll back away and let her have her space.
Wow. Do you think that, as we were talking about knowing your animals and their behaviors and their, how they react and everything, do you think that monitor is doing the same exact thing, to you guys? Like, I'm going to watch that finger, and if it moves faster than I expect, I'm backing off. I'm jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're that smart?
Definitely. I feel like the other day he was feeding him, and I was in there trying to get like footage and take a picture of her, and she legit like stopped and like kind of turned her head and looked at me like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, there's definitely more trust with me than anybody else. So if somebody, even my cousin or my brother, he helps a lot and comes over and sprays and stuff like that. But if he's in the room or somebody's in the room, she's a little bit more bashful, doesn't want to come out. But if it's just me, I get the full effect.
Outstanding. I know, and you were talking before, I'm going to backtrack a couple of minutes ago, but you were talking about having a lot of animals and getting that experience with all of these different animals. That's something that I haven't done at all. I kind of know a little teeny tiny bit about snakes, and I know a little teeny tiny bit about monitors. Our good friend JP Juan posted a video of Tinley Park a couple of years ago, and he's showing this snake and that snake, and I'm like, just flip and show the geckos. I just want to see the geckos. Come on, hurry up. How do I fast forward this video? And then he showed correct me if I'm wrong, I might pronounce this wrong, but black lace monitor.
Oh yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yep.
And I literally stopped and I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing. And I went back and rewatched it a couple of times. Those are cool. What?
Your son. Did Wally just say he doesn't know a lot about reptiles?
I don't. I know geckos. I feel comfortable talking mostly, about care of geckos, but snakes. Somebody will post a picture of a ball python and a boa constrictor. It's like, I don't know what the difference is.
I'm done.
How do you guys do your research? And I know that you're doing it through living the experience with all of these different animals. How else do you do your research on animals?
Lots of videos, especially YouTube videos. Like, thank you to you. We watched a lot of your videos before we ever started.
Yeah.
And
then just did everything the opposite way.
And then reading different articles and basically you want to get a variety of a lot of different sources and kind of narrow down a good median there. Nothing too extreme or too radical, but what seems right and what works for a lot of people. And we did a lot of that before we ever bought anything.
Yeah, and then I feel like even like some things that we read turned out to not be exactly right, like how to keep our one ornate Uromastics. Like a lot said like they're supposed to be really hot, really dry, and come to find out they actually like a little bit more moisture and not as hot. So for a while we weren't seeing him and we didn't know why, and he was just way too hot, and we adjusted his heat, and he was coming out every day. So
yeah, you gotta always keep learning too, always keep researching. So we had them for a while, but we continued to look into things or in our spare time. So
and I think that as you gain experience with all these other animals, that experience, that knowledge is applying to other animals, and you're feeling probably more comfortable walking into a reptile show or talking to somebody online and going, yeah, I'm going to give this different animal a try because it has some similarities that I have experience with the animals that I'm keeping. So I think that that's a huge help. You mentioned, though, that the Uromastic needs a little cooler and a little bit more humidity. How did you come about that? Was that something online? Did you talk to somebody or?
I think I actually did see a video from, I don't remember who it was, maybe Chief Sweets.
It might have been
Chief
Sweets.
And he's was like, people have been keeping their Euros wrong, and that's what it had said. And then we like adjusted a few things, and I was like, almost overnight he changed. And then like even when I missed, he'll come out and like lick the big plants we have in there. So
they all have water dishes, but they like to tip them over every other minute they get.
Angie has a question here, and I'm going to ask that in just a second. I think, to follow that up, getting your mentors, huge. Finding the right sources for information, but also watching your animals. And if it's sitting at the top, if you have an animal that's normally hidden and now all of a sudden they're sitting at the top of the cage, they're hanging onto the screen on the top, you better start thinking, what's going on here?
That happened actually with one of our pictus geckos, Gobi.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the heat mat ended up malfunctioning, and he literally climbed all the way to the top, and I've never seen him up there. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know he could climb. But then we realized, oh no, that was malfunctioning. So he was like burning his buns.
And things like that happen, but if you're not watching or you're not aware, and the key there is you're aware of the normal behavior because you've seen them over and over and over and over and over and over doing the same thing. And then all of a sudden it's doing something different. I better stop right now. I'm putting all of this stuff away, and I'm going to I'm going to put all of my attention to this one situation right here. Angie is asking, though, I have a Kenyan sand boa. Do you have yours on bioactive? And if so, can you explain it?
I feel like it's technically bioactive.
It's not technically bioactive, but it's a mixture of play sand.
What's that? Ochre?
Savannah ochre. It's a type of clay that's made in the reptile hobby. And it's like a couple of that and a little bit of soil and stuff kind of mixed together, but mostly sandy.
Yeah, she burrows in it. It holds burrows really well. So I think that's why she likes it. She always has like under her little cave. That's where she always is. So I'll see her popping her head out like around when the lights go off. But that's pretty much it. She stays pretty much hidden unless she thinks food's coming. So,
Do you anything else with the setup with your sand boa?
no, just that and like fake plants because obviously we missed it like once a day, not twice a day. A lot of our animals get twice a day because the heat in the house keeps everything really dry. So
yeah, the water dish doubles as a hide.
Yeah,
too. Because
she
you'll
has, like,
find her under there a lot.
a very shallow water dish, but yeah, we do miss it.
Yeah.
Perfect. The substrate that you're using, then, do you use for other animals in your setup? I'm thinking maybe the fan foots or
Yes,
Fanfoots,
yes,
yep.
those fanfoots do have that
They
one.
have
Yep.
I think the Euros have a mix of that and a little bit more gravelly kind of rocks.
And then I think don't the Schneiders have?
Schneiders. No, they have mostly a little bit. Yeah.
Our Schneider skinks have a mix of that with like some more sandy, gravelly stuff as well. So
Basically, yeah, just try to emulate where they're from and kind of what the soil is like around their natural habitats. We found like that works out the best in most cases. Obviously, you don't want to copy nature exactly because Mother Nature is brutal, but in captivity, we can learn some things and apply that and
scale it down.
yeah.
And I agree 1,000%, just because it's, I think that we've lived this for so many years with bearded dragons. We're keeping them kind of like nature, but not quite like nature.
Mhm.
And I think we can all learn from just, talking to other keepers doing some similar things like that. We talked about research. Do you have a few people that you go to in the hobby? Like, oh my gosh, I'm having a problem with this. Let me talk to this person, or kind of a couple of mentors.
I mean, you are definitely one for sure.
Yeah. There
People
are
that really know what they're doing, though, not people that have good experience.
Yeah,
There's
you've
a
already
couple
said you
of
don't know.
breeders that we went to, and we'll ask questions about morphs
Yeah.
because there are so many morphs, and it can get complicated. So we've gone through people like that. The fire skinks. There's I don't know her
I forget
name.
her name. Yeah, she's
I'm
on.
terrible with names.
She's on social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, she breeds them, and she was like giving us advice because we had one as a pet, and then we acquired two more. That's another future project. We would like to try breeding fire skinks as well. So, but another one.
Just reaching out to different people and hoping they will respond and going from there.
Yeah, we've met
And
a
I
few
think-
people at expos as well that we kind of have started
A little
relationships.
bit of rapport with.
Yeah, so.
Yes, building up that network, and again,
Yeah.
with your diverse collection, that's important that you don't, for geckos, I have maybe 3 people that I'll go to for just about any of the geckos that I'm keeping. But for you guys, you have to have a very extensive kind of network of people that you trust and you listen to.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
In your collection, I've got to ask this question because I know Angie is going to ask it in 3, 2.
She'll come up with it.
What's your favorite animal that you're keeping right now? Do you have a favorite?
I feel like for me, skinks in general are my favorite. Like I love the blue tongue skink. The Schneiders are like super friendly. The emerald tree skinks, we actually don't really hold them that much because they're pretty crazy. Like someone once said they hold you, so like they climb on you and do their thing, and like they're a little wild. But for me, I would definitely say it's skinks.
I would have to say whatever is in my hands and in front of my face.
What time is it right now?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm gonna beat Angie to the punch
She
again.
just said, of course, he's stealing my
I'm
questions.
trying my best.
You're slow tonight, Angie.
Yeah, you're slow, Angie. You gotta be quick with me. Do you have a dream animal that is kind of out there for this year or maybe next year? Or is it more kind of filling the blanks of we have one of this, now we're looking for your monitor, as an example, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that for sure.
for me, it's more of like the monitors, just not really a particular one just yet, but getting into them is definitely my dream. I like a lot of the bigger animals, but it's harder because of space requirements and stuff. So it's a slow going process, but we'll get there.
I'm going to jump back real quick because I'm selfish and it's my show anyway, so I can talk about Periodora picta. What are your plans for Periodora picta? I know you've got some beautiful, wonderful animals right now. What's in the plans for this year? Are you working toward a couple of lines? Or I shouldn't say lines, but
so we have offspring from a pair that we got from you. So we produce a lot of white striped babies from that. And then we have a high red pair. They might be from, I forget who they're, Appalachian Exotics maybe. And then we have a het xanthic pair. So we paired all those up, obviously, and then we're gonna hold back the nicest babies of each, and then try to breed some of them together. And I feel like we do have possibly a couple visual xanthics that came out of that, but only, I think they're all males too, of course. So yeah, but they're really beautiful. So
it's hard, and I question myself every day with the Periodora picta because I kind of feel like some of the things, because we haven't established the lines like we have for leopard geckos or crested geckos, I kind of feel like we're missing it. And when I say we, I put myself right in front of everybody with missing it, with not breeding the right way, because I think that some of the things that we're missing are from recessive or traits that we might not see for 2 or 3 or 4 generations. Right. So this baby looks like nothing. It looks like but it has that, somewhere in there it has that. And now you've got to bring back daughter back to grandfather. And I know, we can talk about all day about the ethics of something like that. But that's how we get this stuff. But the problem with Periodora picta is you get 187 babies every month from one female. How do you keep all of them? That's my struggles. Yeah. I'm sure that you're encountering that as well. Mm-hmm. It's just hard. You look for little tells like the eyes and something like that. It's so difficult.
Well, that's like the first one that ended up coming to us gravid. We didn't have any information on the father or whoever she was paired with, but she produced like a very crazy variety of babies. Like some were dark, some were light, and she's like very dark brown. So
probably the darkest one we have.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
And you can't go to, www.periodorapicta.com and see all of the lineage. Nobody has that. Nobody has it. I have been asking for years and years and years and years, 20 some years. I've been asking, hey, has anybody seen a female amel? Oh yeah, we've seen them all the time. Show me one. Right. So last year, a bigger breeder said that they had 3. After a couple 3 months, I messaged back, do you still have those 3 females? I just want to keep track. I'm not, judging or anything like that. I'm not trying to get into your secrets. I just want to know. I want to know if Periodora picta amel females are a thing or not. And all of a sudden, nope, I lost this one, and this one turned out to be a male. And so last year I was fortunate. Quick announcement here. Last year I was fortunate enough to have a lot of amels, and out of all, probably a dozen or so, one turned out to be a female, and it's absolutely proven because she must be next to a male. I should know this, but because she laid a dud egg this last week, so that's kind of exciting. But we should have known that for 10, 15 years ago. I don't think anybody's just kind of working through that process, and that's hard.
Yeah.
I want to watch your what did you call it? Peppermint? I want to watch that project.
Yes.
That sounds exciting. That would be cool.
Would be very cool. We'll see. No one's done it yet, but I mean, some of the red ones we have are very like crazy red. So a little bit more orange than red, but you know,
red is hard.
Yeah.
Red is extremely hard. You know, we hear things like the black eyes and the triple stripes, the 3 stripes and things like that. But getting a good red with a nice white stripe, if you guys can do it, you know, everybody says hold back your best animals. I thought I was onto that line, and I sold 2 or 3 a couple of years ago, and last year we didn't produce any nice reds with stripes at all. So it's hard. And there again, you might have that whole recessive thing.
Right.
I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit here, but where do you see Unholy Trinity going with the business end of things? How are you, I guess my question is, are you selling online? Are you doing reptile shows? I kind of know some of the answers here, but kind of talk us through that. And what are your plans in the next year or two with moving the business forward?
Yeah, we're on Morph Market, obviously. And we do a few local expos around here, but I would say we've already, like, our second year, we did one other expo. Like the first year we only did one, and then we grew and went to a different one the next year. So I feel like our goal is just to keep slowly expanding, growing kind of thing. And I know I did see someone's question if we do education at all.
Yes.
And that is my goal. I would like to do educational shows and stuff like that. So that's another working project. But that would be something I think would be really exciting, because at the expos you see how much the kids, and they just love interacting with the animals, and it's nice to teach the kids that, you know, you don't have to be scared of that stuff either. So, and I feel like when they learn at a younger age, they take that with them. So
yes.
Probably more
And
so,
what's that?
probably more so than adults.
100% more so than adults.
We see that a lot at the shows.
We do, but I'll go back to when you were doing daycare,
Oh,
and she was doing daycare for a handful, 5 or 6 little tykes. You know, we're talking 4 or 5 years old at the time. And it was always funny because about once a week, every couple of weeks, I would bring out a crested gecko or a leopard gecko, and it would pass between, you know, the little hands, and everybody was holding it, and everybody was like, oh, this is so cute. And they would walk from hand to hand, and it was just nice, relaxing, fun. And none of the kids got really super excited. It was just holding an animal. And you would see mom or dad come down the stairs. Nanette did the daycare in the finished basement, and you'd see mom or dad come down the stairs, and they would see what was going on. And you could literally see their bodies, you know, back up and almost literally taking a step back. And that's sad, you know. And I know it's sad for me too, because I have been that way for years and years with tarantulas, and I just, you know, want to back away. But we learn that stuff that you know, these animals are creepy and you know, not fun to handle and can hurt you, things like that. So if you guys take that and run with that as far as educational shows, that would be super cool.
Yeah, you want to do that bad. That's all you have to say.
Do we have a starred question from Angie?
we've started a couple of her questions.
I think I've covered the.
Well, I think we covered, because she asked about the.
Go ahead.
I don't remember now.
That's okay.
The last one that you guys just covered, the educational show. She had that.
Yes.
We had that started.
Yes. What do you feel sets your business apart from all the other businesses?
I guess maybe how, like, we're trying to offer, like, your typical, like, reptiles, like the ball pythons and corn snakes, but we also have some less common ones, like, I mean, for some people, pictus geckos might be common, but I've come across a lot of people that have never heard of them. So, like, those we're breeding, and the dune geckos and fanfoots. I was actually shocked when we sold the 2 babies last year that we had on Morph Market, but the guy said he used to keep them back in the day. So older people do know more about certain reptiles, I feel like. And we've had a couple people at expos even say, oh yeah, well, I used to keep pictus geckos back in the 70s. And so, people you meet.
Yeah, I saw a comment too about the Schneider skinks, how they're too collected, and that's another thing I feel like we focused on a lot. Like, yeah, we have the ball pythons and your common typical pets, but we got the Schneiders to try to get them to breed or learn how to get them to breed.
Yeah.
And we did try brumation and cooled the basement down, and they tucked away for a few months, then emerged, but no breeding activity, but they did look like much healthier. I don't know. They almost came out of brumation.
Yeah.
I don't know, just
More
cleaner looking,
yeah.
more HD.
They were a little underweight and a little unhealthy when we got them,
Yeah.
but the lady that we got them from was like, please take them if you can take care of them, because she said, I don't know how long she had them, but she said that they weren't putting on any weight and just not getting better. Like 2 of them have crooked tails, which they're going to always have because they're wild caught. But the other 2 look like
Yeah, like one we nicknamed Spiny because the spine was,
Oh.
but now couldn't tell that was ever him.
Yeah.
So we restored their health, and I don't know if that's gonna be a problem with them breeding. And it's really difficult to figure out who's a boy and who's a girl.
Yeah, that's another issue with the breeding of them. Oh,
Yeah. I got my Schneiders to breed, but the single egg died right before hatching. Oh my gosh, that's hard. That's hard. But you got it to a certain point, and now, a little bit more experience and a little bit more knowledge. Hopefully the next step.
They lost their parents the next year.
Oh, I missed that. Oh,
The
no.
next line.
Oh, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part of this hobby is, especially working with an animal like that, you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
Angie's asking what animals are upstairs in the hot room.
Most of the snakes are up here. The Savannah monitor, the sand boa, the fire skinks, the dune geckos, and the pictus
Tokays.
geckos. Oh, the tokays. Yep. I know. I gotta look around.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff that needs a little cooler, we kind of put lower to the ground or something. And then we have a heat gun. We have temperature probes all over the room.
Mm-hmm.
So we always keep track of that. And then, like I said, my brother, me, and her take turns going through every night, or we all 3 of us go together and go through the animals. So always checking temperatures and stuff like that, because it can get hot up here.
Yeah.
But we have an AC that's
For summer.
even in the wintertime, it's over there plugged in and ready to go.
Gosh, oh my gosh. And that's hard. And I like how you've set up, certain rooms are the hot rooms, certain rooms are the not hot rooms. Talking about, the work that you do at night and going through and monitoring everything, managing everything. Tell us about a typical day. What does a typical day look like for you guys?
Well, she's always up way before me.
Yeah, even when I have a day off, I'm up at like 6 o'clock just naturally. But yeah, usually we'll spray in the morning. Sometimes, like with this colder weather, the colder room, I kind of wait till like their lights come on and they warm up a little bit before I give them a spray so they don't get like shocked or anything. And then like the daytime animals, I usually would take care of their feedings and like check their cages. So like a couple of the daytime skinks, they'll eat bugs. The blue tongue skink will get like a mixture of greens, and sometimes we do the cat food. I don't really like to do that, but I know there's a lot of different things about what to feed your blue tongue skink and stuff like that. But yeah, take care of the daytime people, clean up cages. And sometimes I'll even, if I wake up really early, instead of feeding at night, I'll feed like the baby geckos in the morning or something, because they're always out ready to eat.
Yeah, as soon as we came up here and started setting up, all the snakes and geckos are peeking their heads up and looking, checking us out, like, oh, what are we getting tonight?
And then a lot of our lights are on auto timer, so they just come on naturally. We'll turn on like the room lights, and then second half of the day, the lights obviously start to go off, and then that's when I'll do the nighttime spraying on the ones that need to be sprayed twice a day. And then nighttime feeding, basically.
Yeah. Feed the daytimers during the day, feed the night timers at night.
So when you go ahead.
Nighttime too, that's when we would do like checks, like he said, for like snake poop and whatnot. But sometimes you can just see it, and obviously during the day we'll take care of it. Don't want to leave anyone in the poop.
Mookie says you can see it. See it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, who pooped? We smell it.
Well, that's like when
It's here
the Savannah
somewhere.
monitor goes, she likes to go in her water, which is a plus. But
No,
also, I gag. I can't hold back. I have to wear a bandana, Febreze spray, carry it downstairs, and dump it in the toilet. Oh my god, it's a bad time, but if I can sucker her into doing it, I try my best.
I don't mind.
I would be doing the Jim Carrey, kind of.
You know?
Make that.
That's him to a T.
You talk about the night routine. Now that's not with lights out, is it? Are you wearing? Are some of the lights on, or just you're doing it before the lights go out?
If I just get home from work, which is usually around like 6:30ish, some of the lights are still on, but I usually try to get the spraying done like right when I get home. He's more like, I want to relax for a couple hours, so he'll do it later. So
yeah, I'll do it in the
varies.
pitch black with my cell phone light. And then we have, for a mister, we have a big old backpack that we fill up and carry around on our back, because we have animals on our top story, our middle story, and our basement.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's a whole tour every time you go around. But it's kind of good, because then you run through every single enclosure, every cage. You get eyes on everybody every single day, multiple times a day.
I used to have 3 misting systems going off, 40, 60, I don't even know how many tanks that covered, 100 tanks maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I turned them off simply because and they would go off in the evening, just before lights go out. But in the morning, everything was already dry, and it was like, I wonder if it really worked. It's got to be working. It has to. Please be working. And then eventually, it was like, I can't trust it anymore. I've got to turn it off. I want to know. I want to mist myself and know that they're getting misted. So, and a lot of people swear by misting systems, but I don't want to, see one of my, if it sticks one day, I don't want to see one of my geckos like Jacques Cousteau and
yeah.
Yeah.
doing the backstroke.
Yep.
When you look at your collection, your diverse collection, and I know you're spending a lot of time working with the animals, is that something that you just naturally do? Like looking at your diverse collection and going, boy, if I just move this over here, or if I could put these animals together, I could minimize the back and forth walking, and I could, feed these animals, and then I'm done with crickets, and then I could feed these animals, and I'm done with veggies or whatever. Does that kind of work through your mind when you're working with your animals?
Yeah, I feel like we've already made like a lot of arrangements and upgrades and moving things to fit that sort of thing. So it's just like bing, bing, bing. Like we made like a new rack to put all of our baby pictus, and like it makes feeding a million times easier.
Yes. Yes. And, another big thing on the internet right now is enclosures and not racks, and get away from plastic. And,
right.
And, I'm not going to be the person that goes out there and says, oh, a lot of my animals are in plastic tubs, and it works.
Right. Yeah.
If it works, it works. Absolutely. And I know a bunch of bigger breeders that are doing the same thing. But anyways, that's something that constantly works in my mind too, is my mind's 100 miles away and thinking about, I'm feeding the crusteds and I'm thinking about the leopard geckos. Maybe if I put in another hide and did this, and it's always a process. It's always going through that process.
I'm always tinkering up here, and then she'll run up and be like, oh, what's your next plan? What are we moving today?
Yeah.
I can't help you. That's too heavy.
Yep. Sorry.
From not an animal standpoint, and maybe this kind of covers or it diverses it goes off into your business. But do you have other big plans for the next couple of years, non-animal related?
I'm just moving.
Yeah,
probably.
I would like to move somewhere warmer out of New York, and with kind of like the Savannah monitor, we pre-planned we need a bigger enclosure before we buy this and stuff. When we got the sulcata, I'm like, we're going to need a bigger house. It's going to need an outdoor pen eventually. So, and if we're going to live somewhere it's cold, it's going to have a heated section. So like, I would like to move. I've been talking about Arizona and other places, but there's more research that we need to do in the laws and reptile laws and what city permits what and all that stuff.
Interesting. That's
It's a
significant.
big move.
You know,
Then yeah, the big move with all these animals, we contemplate that. My cousin's like, I'm not. The last time we moved, we were up to, well, NICEAG had shut the power off early,
Before we move.
and we just had a ball python the very first time we ever had lay eggs, and it was still like what 40 degrees outside, so the
Yeah.
house got cold. So we were up till 4 or 5 in the morning moving every single animal out of the house and getting them to the new house. And it was not supposed to go that way. It was all planned to do it slowly over the week, but with no heat source, we had to get everybody out. And he said he's not helping ever again. So
It was-
kind of took the Big
what?
Bang Theory approach to things and did everything all at once. That's got to be tough. But you do it all at once and you're done.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then
that's
our
my
house
biggest plan.
just had like cages and stuff piled everywhere, so it looked like a hot mess. So
Yeah.
organizing it was like really hard. We couldn't even like walk through our house.
But that's okay. That gave you enough time to kind of plan it out and think about it and work your
Yeah,
spreadsheets and your. Let me ask you a question. If going back through your growth and where you started and where you are right now, for our viewers, can you think of something that really made a huge difference in the way that you keep your animals? And again, we're talking about not just keeping one animal, but keeping many, 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 many animals in a very, very diverse collection. Is there one thing that you could, for somebody that would like to do exactly the same thing that you're doing and gaining all that experience and knowledge, is there one, I don't want to say success and failure, but is there one thing that you can look back on and say, yeah, if you're going to do it like we did it, you want to make sure that you do this or don't do that?
Right.
I would say maybe slow down.
Yeah, for sure.
We jumped into it and the passion, like I said, kind of ignited, and we full steam ahead kind of rolled right into it. And it would have been better if we'd been fine if we did that, but at a slower pace, because there was a point when we probably came home with something new every other couple weeks. I might be exaggerating a couple weeks.
Yeah,
But-
like 3 animals in a week, maybe.
Yeah. And everybody's fine. They're all still healthy and nothing went wrong or anything. We did our research, but it would have helped a lot. And then like now we're kind of strapped in space, and there's I don't want to sell this because I bought it as a pet and I love it. I don't want to get rid of it. So it's like, but it's taking up space that could be for my breeders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this constant back and forth of, what do we do? And I don't know. We could have avoided that situation, I feel like. And it's something that you've talked about before.
Yeah, just too many hands and too many projects at once. Like, for just starting out, we should have maybe picked 1 or 2 things, not like, oh, let's get all of these.
And then have help.
Yeah, have help.
Because like I said, my brother's here every day that he gets out of work. He comes over, he sprays, he'll clean the poops, and he gets eyes on stuff, mentions stuff to us. So it's like we have that extra person, or even my cousin who will hop in and help and stuff. So if we're too busy with our full-time jobs and stuff, like we have other people to kind of keep eyes on things. And if you're all by yourself, that's going to be difficult.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it is, and that's great that you have somebody that can kind of step in and man, I've got a project that I'm working on, or work needs me extra hours today through Friday. Can you step in and maybe take care of the animals for these 3 or 4 days? That's got to be a huge, huge, huge relief in your minds to have somebody that can help out like that.
Are they moving with you?
Yeah, are they going to Arizona?
Yeah.
I'll say me and my cousin have been best friends since we were born, and he still lives with us. So
Okay. Somebody also, how nice that would be for you, Dad, to have somebody come in. Yeah, Christopher.
Well, you
come
do.
on over.
Yeah, Chris. Yes, Christopher. Yeah, if you say something like that, that means you're volunteering.
To have just one helper. LOL. How did you get your name? Angie hasn't asked that yet, but she will.
Okay. Well, obviously, Trinity was the very first snake that we got together. So the Unholy Trinity Reptiles, and it was kind of like a play on words. So like we eventually want to breed like snakes, lizards, and geckos. Those were supposed to be the Unholy Trinity. So 3 different things. I know some people considered lizards and geckos one category, but that's how we looked at it. So. But I have recently got into spiders, so I guess that could be the third. I haven't bred any yet, but come on down there.
Jason wants you to come. I think Jason actually in a comment later says he'll pay. I will pay for all of your expenses. Jason, that's so nice of you.
Nice guy.
Super cool. Thank you. I'll give you Jason's. I'll connect you on Facebook so that you can collect on that. Promise.
Animals, he'd be here to
Yeah, I see that. Our son said that if I had, here it is. I would help you if you got some fun animals.
He wants a lychee.
He wants lychees.
You have your own house.
Jason,
I do like lychees.
are you thinking about branching out into lychees or kind of, sort of?
Eventually, I just know through the research I've seen a lot of they can get rough during breeding and stuff like that, and it's just too much going on right now to be fully focused enough.
And the one we got kind of has like a spinal deformity,
Yeah.
so he would not be one we would want to breed.
Yeah, so he's just a pet, and we're gonna just hang on to him. And
I really like this aspect though that you've taken with your hobby. And we've kind of broken away from the whole business thing and just the whole learning and understanding each and every animal. And you've emphasized this over and over and over. And I don't think a lot of people do this the right way, and that's slow down and understand your animals and do the research and make your connections and networking and everything like that. I feel like, I'm maybe one of the worst, offenders to that sometimes. Oh, cool gecko. I have to buy it. I have to get it. Got to get it. Got to get more. Pokemon. Got to collect them all.
yeah,
You do what? You
Collect
do
them all.
collect them all? Pokemon? So I think that's the wrong thing to do. I think that it keeps the fire going, certainly, but it can kind of paint you in a corner and have you run into a lot of problems. You had a comment here?
There's 2 comments.
Okay.
Questions.
What do you think the next trend will be? Oh, I love this question. The next trend in, I guess, reptile keeping will be. Good question.
I don't know.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
trying to think like what's popular right now. Anyways, I feel like dune geckos definitely have been sparking some interest.
Yeah, dune geckos.
I don't know other than that. I feel like tokays even kind of are a little bit more popular. So, but that's if you're willing to
Lose a finger
Yeah.
or 2.
I've got to ask about your dune geckos. How are you doing with them?
Good. We have quite a few babies. We still have to get them posted. Not sure if we're gonna hold back any of the babies. We might end up like looking for another pair to breed and mix with. So try to expand our genes kind of thing. But we did get 4 from you guys. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know how long ago, maybe a year or so ago. So they bred a lot of babies for us. So.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
Talk about if you don't mind, talk about your substrate with the dune geckos. This is steno, right? Stenodactylus.
Yep.
The first original one we set up was like, what did you have?
Oh yeah, it was like the clay type
Yeah.
sandy clay mixture.
And then we have like some like not big. We have a couple big rocks in there, and then a lot of like small cork bark pieces that anything I put in there, they end up burying it and burrowing underneath it. So it really doesn't matter what you put in there.
I think they're on just play sand now.
Yeah, just the sand. And they seem to like that, do well with that. So
Yeah,
Do you
then
have the
every
play
time we
sand
miss,
moist?
what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have the play sand moist? Do you moisten it so they can make their burrows?
Yeah, we'll spray. I usually mist lightly in the morning and then at night a little heavier, but I have like one section that is their like moist hide area that I keep really moist for them. Usually under like cork bark. Moist.
I was waiting for it.
Forbidden word.
I
Surprised
try.
Angie hasn't had.
I try so
emojis
hard not
here.
to say that word. I really do. It's cool that you guys are having success with the dune geckos, because I think when we go back to the trends, that is a trend. These different geckos, the rarer geckos. I don't want to say rarer, but the ones that we don't see that much in the hobby, that people are grabbing onto that project and working them and focusing, and especially you guys. That's super cool in my eyes that we have people that are willing to devote, the time and the space and the resources to work with animals like that.
That's still another question, I think.
Oh, let me grab this question real quick. Oh, it's Angie. Do you guys have any of your animals on full bio active?
Yeah, we have quite a few. I'd say a lot of the snakes probably are. Our red-footed tortoise, she's also in a grow tent. She's got like a huge tree in there with her and tons of isopods.
Yeah, so many dairy cow isopods. I threw some earthworms in there, and those have actually been breeding in there. And so.
And then your most recent build that you did was for the vampire crabs, which is a really cool one. It's got a waterfall in it, and then that's full of springtails, and the crabs are always just eating stuff, the springtails.
Yeah, the springtails, they'll go through the moss and eat the moss, and I've been able to get a couple to take like a superworm or a piece of a superworm away from the tongs from me, but most of the time they just kind of scurry away real fast.
That's super cool. I can imagine just sitting in front of that enclosure for an hour.
That one is definitely real fun to just watch for hours.
Yeah, I get lost in it.
We were talking about other animals and trends, and Jason is saying I've been seeing a lot of different forest agamas popping up, so that's cool.
I was gonna say I've seen more of the agama species lately maybe not lately, but like last year there was quite a few all over the place that we went.
Yeah, a couple of the expos had them, which I was kind of surprised. But wasn't that one at the pet store too?
Yeah, the pet store.
Even like our local pet store, which is kind of crazy.
But it's cool seeing it. Something different that's not hugely very difficult to keep. For people to walk in and grab some. I asked, what's going on in the next year or so, but if you had a long-term plan for your business, for your hobby as well, what would it be? Let's say 5 years from now. You talked about educational programs, and that's super cool. Anything else that you can envision right now?
Growing.
I mean, you're looking way in the future here now.
To be full-time, doing reptiles, be able to quit our other job.
That is the ultimate goal, but also staying with some of the passion with it, like certain species. Like I said, I really want to get into monitors, and I think in the next 5 years we'll be able to do that. I think it's fascinating that sometimes some species, their eggs will take 6 months to incubate. So it's like you're sitting on something so precious for so long that everything has to go perfectly right. And there's just something about it that makes my brain tick.
And I don't know that much about monitors, but that sounds almost chameleon-like. You get the eggs, you put them on a shelf. Okay, it's 5-6 months from now, and I'm not even going to look at them. There's nothing I can do. That's got to be a long waiting process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
do they lay a lot?
I'm not sure.
Depends,
Okay. I only met one monitor and I was not happy about it at the pet store when I was working there
Oh,
because it got loose. And they knew I was new at the pet store, and all I worked was the fish department. I would run into the store straight through the snake department all the time to the back. And they would always warn me if a snake had gotten out, and they'd do a check ahead of time and all this stuff. And this monitor got loose, and they told me, but they didn't tell me what a monitor was. And they just said it's a big animal. And I went into the back and screamed, and everybody's like, she found it. It was sitting above the goldfish tank, the feeder tank, just chowing. And everybody was like laughing because it was huge. It was a couple feet. It was a big one. And they're like, that's what a monitor is. I'm like, oh. So then I would walk by and hit the tank tops all the time so that I would not get scared if something was in there ahead of time. Yeah, I screamed, Frank. I screamed at a corn snake in a bathroom at that point one time.
But I think
it was like
the other thing.
big.
Breeding more animals. I just get interested in the different ways things happen. Like we have morning geckos and they're asexual and just laying eggs constantly.
Yeah.
And then like people have said, you know, you'll get scarring and some roughness with some of the leechies and their breeding, and there's just something new and something new to learn always with everything. And it'd just be exciting. Like, I want that. I want to breed it. I want to produce it. But,
you know, I look at your collection of skinks and you know, just imagining you guys with little baby skinks and just that experience would be so cool.
yeah, we've talked about the blue tongue skink before and getting that a project going for that, because like she would love it.
Oh,
She
yeah.
would just like live birth.
Yep.
So just
Another
going in
new-
there and
new
finding
thing.
little babies all over the place and just be,
Oh. I haven't ventured off of geckos at all, except I do have Xenogama taylori, the little shield tail. And they're just, you know, and I'll come into the office. I'll come into the office and they're right up at the front of the tank and bobbing their heads and everything. And that's, you know, for me, that's super cool, that personality. Unlike leopard geckos and crested geckos, they'll just kind of hide the whole day. These guys are out and you know, interacting, which is super cool. So, you know, to your point, to see baby, you know, taylor-eyed, little baby shield tail, I think I'd probably pee my pants or something. It'd be so exciting. Ooh, babies.
Sure, I'm not here.
Um,
She left.
yeah, she heard me say pee my pants and she was like, I'm out of here. This is too much detail.
No, I heard the dog. I didn't know what he was doing.
Ah,
Yeah, it's pitter pattering.
looking for
toe
something. What if there was one thing that we're kind of getting long on time here? I've kept you for a long, long time. If there's one thing that you would like to leave the viewers with, what would that be about yourselves, about Unholy Trinity Reptiles, about what you guys do?
You want people to know?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think we talked about a lot. I guess just like with us putting our hands in a bunch of baskets at once kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with it if you do it the right way, like he said. So don't be afraid to dive into the reptile world. Just take it slowly. Always do your research. You know, that's what we did. And we obviously had to learn and fix a lot of things. So there's nothing wrong with that. And don't be afraid to admit your mistakes and
Grow
learn.
from them.
Yeah.
It's always in the back of your head, I can do better. I can be better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it beat you up, but you gotta have balance. Life is all about balance.
Good gosh, yes. You know, if you can do that, if you can realize that we're all human, we're going to make mistakes, and you just can't beat yourself up too much for making mistakes, and then, you know, put on that thinking cap and try to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it. And then, you know, an ounce of, you know, self-forgiveness, I say.
Yeah.
And just move on. Don't dwell on something bad. It's bad. You screwed up, move on and fix it. You know, good point. Really good point. Well said. Where can people contact you? Mookie, you mentioned Morph Market a little bit earlier. Where else can people contact you if they want to find you?
We're on Facebook as well as Instagram, and I think someone shared our link tree
Right,
thing on here, so that should have most of our stuff on it. Except for I don't think I've added our Palm Street to it yet, which we are new to that. We haven't gone live and done any auctions or anything on there yet, but that's another thing we're working towards. So we would like to get going on that. But after doing this, we would probably feel a little bit more comfortable because we've never really like gone live on anything. So, but
This was part of our list, though, things that we want to do and start doing. So we're always progressing.
yeah, it's just trying to get ourselves out there more. And if there's anything that we might have talked about today that if you go to our Morph Market, it's not on there. Like we don't have the dunes listed right now. And pictus, shoot us the message of what we have, and I can send you pictures and stuff because we have a lot.
Absolutely. And I've got to tell you guys, you were as natural as any of our guests tonight. You're going to do great on Palm Street. My biggest issue with Palm Street is that I plan and I worry and I stress and I okay, let's quadruple check everything, and that's not in my spreadsheet. Something's wrong. It's not, so I overplan, but just go in and say things are going to not be perfect the first time, and
be the first, second,
or third time, and just do it. So
you just got to go in and you learn each time on that one.
Exactly. And if you want, to come to us, Nanette does the Palm Street really, really well by this point. Just ask us questions, and we're more than willing to help. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. I want to thank you very much for the donations to the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas. You guys are the best. All the donors doing so much, and especially you guys too. Thank you very, very much.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. We're going to have you on in a year or so and kind of
See
catch
where
up
you're
on and see where we're at.
We're in Arizona.
Yeah. Maybe you can do a show with Jason, the two of you kind of tag team
When
and
you're
talk
in
about
Arizona, yep. You have to find out where he lives so you can move close to him, because maybe he'll
Jason said that in a comment.
he'll help him.
I'll be there 24/7 for you guys, as long as you need. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night.